2 clients, 3 clients. Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Ooh.
Pam pam pam. Бу-бу-бум. Два раза проверка звука. Все отлично, мне нравится.
Toodaloo.
Ой, блин. Что на кнопки не на те нажимаю.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for complete.
Мы сидим, мы сидим. На жопе ровно мы сидим.
You looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, if it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, he was called away, or I thought they'd come to him.
just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable. Thank you. Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryou Commission.
All right then. I'll just...
Fight.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that the Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat in short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted, and we later learned that, considering Mr. in the interest of preventing further harassment of the
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the good. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the... Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for...
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently...
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was a...
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaidahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, also that Kaidahara Kazuha was using a...
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion...
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements...
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being this, but perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me...
This is precise...
In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment.
Чё, первый комментарий, первый привет.
Well then, what brings...
Yikes!
Why would such a
Что расскажешь,
dangerous
что покажешь,
individual be looking for
что
me?
скажешь?
No. This puzzles. My fighting forms were taught to me by... Over time, those forms are quite...
All the more reason to watch your back.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
Стрим просто
Anyone who
посвящен тому, что
targets is at
наконец-то
risk of
меня
serious
разбанил этот
injury.
YouTube.
Or worse.
Понял, пока ничего, так ничего.
In that case, I will send.
Thank you.
Буду ждать. Надеюсь, телефон у меня не зависит, не отключится
I will first
на
join the traveler in
15%.
investigating the one who attacked him. Then give you.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Ты так спонтанно.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
За видос там типа момент с особой жестокостью был, но я его так и не нашел в видосике. Теперь будет делать видео еще более аккуратным. Я и так все моменты с детьми, с пушками пытался не брать, а теперь это еще надо будет сильнее. Как-то так. Считай, меня месяц не было на ютубе. Если еще один бан дадут в промежуток этого месяца, то, в принципе, я все уже на ютубе больше не появлюсь, походу. Под этим ником. Да-да. Следит не то слово.
Hey there. I'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around...
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to...
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate...
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are all... To be honest with you, some of them were offered...
Million?
Please, accept my...
Of course. But I wouldn't...
Then
Я
let's
только
put that
заметил,
connection aside for
вот
now.
это ник на, это,
The
на ноябрь у
Daimyo
тебя.
Commission had very few leads.
Или на
I thought you
постоянку.
might have some information from...
It's true that if anyone had...
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
Ау, мои кости.
I still find few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware it would cause me great grief to see someone become critically
На
injured,
постоянку?
lose their
Понял.
life for the poor victim.
Don't worry.
It seems you are every bit the...
You flatter me.
Oh, let me tell you about it.
Sure. During times...
All right then. One of them is a pretty well...
Amanoma.
Right. You two grown men going... I recalled this because...
Understood. Though it seems highly unlikely to me.
Sure. Can't hurt. We never know what we might...
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some...
Sounds good.
Ой, я сейчас, подожди, скажу. Точнее, этот. Я сам просто уже забыл. 58-й.
Historically, after I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Ameno. Yes,
Самое интересное, я перешел с плойки на...
that's right. For only a blade.
Indeed, you are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You over evidence we have gathered.
What? No, he is humble and kind. Yes, but I also cannot... Anyway,
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think...
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met. Let's pay a visit.
Персов качать. Это вот это совсем плохо. У меня до сих пор гейлайн даже 80-го. Пу-пу-пум. Кстати, скажите, пожалуйста, как картинка, как звук? Потому что я не смотрел, не проверял ничего.
I'm very sorry, but
Тогда
we
отлично.
cannot afford to. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still.
No, you misunderstand us. We
Ah, I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. With this in mind,
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for more.
He'd always get so everything was fine when we.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in
Фу,
weapons.
аниме.
He wouldn't sell them.
Понял.
Wouldn't even. I'm happy he had on the last day that.
Whoa.
and that led.
Actually, it didn't. You must understand. I never would have dreamed of threatening him with
Почему не
divorce.
любишь аниме?
The debts hadn't pushed
Вроде
our
норм.
family to the
Просто
brink.
сериальчик. Чё нет?
After I said those words, his voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back.
Для меня аниме тоже сериал типа сверхъестественного, типа
If I didn't draw
новичок,
the line,
там
what would happen to our
служба
family?
спасения 911, всякое такое вообще, как бы.
Had I not indulged, and the next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire.
I see. Amin Omayuya came.
At first, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even had
Ну,
this when he
покемоны,
bought
мне
buying
кажется, не
groceries,
считается,
so
потому что
it's
это
hard to
в детстве,
imagine
мне кажется,
getting
все
into
их
a fierce
смотрели.
argument.
А Джоджо это Джоджо.
I don't know. He just perhaps he's too afraid to
Просто
come home.
есть два вида тех, кто смотрел Джоджо. Те, кто любит кабачки, и те, кто их ненавидит.
As long as he's willing to.
Please don't get us. If collecting
Надеюсь,
things
тонкая
is a
шутка, потому
habit that
что
Mr. Nagato
я не
had
умею
his whole
шутить.
life, but the information.
A little confused.
Let's try a change of scenery. Rest assured.
Thank you so much.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise the fire at the where. Do you have any thought?
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Right. I very much agree. Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up.
Вампир досмотришь?
The chances
Что это?
are that there are still some one fact, Mr. Nagato. The more I ponder it, the more
Я знаю, что такое
puzzling it
One Piece.
becomes. Just what could have happened there?
Ну, рад, что тебе понравилось.
Aminomayu.
Darn!
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Aminoma and Miss.
Okay, but where should we go now?
А,
Let's head out of the
ну,
city
One
and check
Piece
out
это
the
One
warehouse.
Piece, это...
There's still a chance we may be able to find some
Это по
shreds
типа
of
Наруто, но
evidence.
только почти без филлеров. Я сказал почти, заметь. Филлеры есть, но их не так много, как в Наруто. Для меня вообще первым аниме это было, по-моему, в классе в 3. Было то ли DxD, то ли Хвост Феи. И вот это, и с вот этого вот все началось. Бессонные ночи, смотря аниме. А потом как-то приутихло, и я просто считал это как обычный сериальчик. Но мне больше нравятся мультсериалы по типу «Время приключений», там Gravity Falls, Дом совы, что там, Амфибия. Ух ты, мокро. Мне куда? Мне туда.
Take it easy.
А вот, кстати, цифровой цирк я еще не чекал.
Wait.
У меня он в закладках в гугле стоит, но я не чекал еще.
This must be another one of those as sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it to good.
Now I'm picking up a...
Так что, если ты смотрел, можешь поделиться... Да, можешь, конечно, мне чё.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the
Почему
direction
нет?
felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The
Татарагами, что такое
remnants of the
татарагами?
Tatarigami. Indeed. But this we should remain vigilant.
Сейчас у меня касцена закончится, и, в
So it's
принципе,
an underground
и занимаю.
warehouse.
Нет, как вообще цифровой цирк? Понравился? Нет, смотрел? Нет?
The force is the source of the judging from the concentration.
Mrs. Nagata.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've... But most will... Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. Step back. I'll open the door and take a look. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry.
Ну, ё-моё, ты закончишь уже болтать? Кадзуха, пожалуйста.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary.
All we can do now, two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them. Yes, let's quiet your mind.
Ну... Надо будет чекнуть, значит. 100%. Ну, там заявку сам кинешь, я приму. В принципе, надеюсь, видно там этот. Если что, могу продиктовать. 720 198 181. Достижение. О, сейчас приму.
I got a letter from...
Понял. Ну, я принял.
Informant. Looks like the situation has changed again. Here comes the cash.
Это, конечно, все отлично. А какая кнопка здесь мастерство этот? Теперь еще и кнопки искать. Отцепиться X надо запомнить. Набрать так. Отслеживать задание, показать так. Давай, ага. Инвентарь, меню персонажа, карта, лицензия, скажите по причине, что? Меню совместного меню молитвы, меню ПП, меню событий, открыть. Что-то я не знаю. Это курсор показывает, хорошо. Это играет на этой. Я вас понял. Йо. Тут точно не заморачиваюсь, просто йо.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Oh, remember?
Я сам сгорел, чё за...
Quietly now.
Solidify.
Ужасно.
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. Well, according to this letter, Yuya started the fire that destroyed the house and
Эти
wounded Mr.
детективы.
So,
He was not only whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point. They've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here. Yes, if Amenoma
Мгм.
so let's get moving.
Ну, кстати, и крылья я смотрел прикольные, а дальше я не знаю, какие там вообще это. Я ни одну территорию, честно, не закрыл. Меня не тянет закрывать почему-то территорию. Вот сюжет мне интересен. Типа, взаимодействие персонажей как такого мне не особо интересно. А вот сам сюжетная линия это шедевр.
I wouldn't be
По моему
for a
мнению.
practitioner of all the clues that I have a hypothesis.
Wait,
Чисто этот
I believe so. On with the
контент
search.
со скинами, ну, мне не особо нравится.
At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
А то, что разрабы выпускают героя сильнее другого, с каждым разом меня это уже как-то подбешивает. Кайф. Круто.
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer Show yourself!
Kaede Harakazua. It's you, at last.
Aha! So wait, what's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have in—
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenome Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenome Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, It is giving off its... Whoa! Sure.
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using this, or rather, as a means to occupy
You're sharper. Many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his as a descendant of the Kaidehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of... And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, he not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most...
So... swords can become conscious and control...
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one. But in all other respects, after the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer. I seek but one thing: to face the
Мне
full
ЦЦИ
force
выпало в
of the
начале
Raiden
игры, по-моему,
Shogun's
самом.
blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
Я еще, по-моему, тогда ни одного видео не смотрел. Я, по-моему, был на 15-м или на 20-м ранге приключений. Я первый раз начал крутить только. Было прикольно, когда выпал сначала дед, потом Делюк, а потом ЦЦИ. Буквально где-то за круток 70.
Stabilize. Submit to me.
Illusion shot.
We shall rewrite history. Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too.
Your bluff's fooling no one.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will... He is but a puppet that can be replaced. The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a and even if I were to lose my physical form by any means necessary.
Your fighting style. It is indeed but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance.
Really? You can...
As I've mentioned before, since the blade is currently possessing, if you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate single mind.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without... On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. In that regard, why would I...
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity.
What of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand, and I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, but the way I see it...
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities, and showed even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this... Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, how could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discord?
Silence! I must achieve my goal. I will concede.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaidahara clan. If you...
How stubbornly you stick to your way. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish once we have dealt with...
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the cursed blade. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existence. Even if things... We have a chance here to save an innocent
Your disdain...
Какая же нудятина. Мне так кажется. Так, секунду. Ну, вроде все.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you...
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, if he wants to avoid...
Wait a minute. Since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned that city...
all right.
What about...
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness.
Are we share this? Okay, fine.
Да еще, ё-моё, куда я? 700 метров, ну ладно, давай. Я один фиг найду.
Leave everything on this journey to me. Business. One with nature.
To the ferry. Finally, it's my lucky day.
Time to go.
Come here.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call. One with nature.
To the ferry.
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. Though he's making every effort to persevere.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, Let's keep going. Into the wind. One with nature. Finally, to the ferry. Let's get down to business. How's this? My blade. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Wind strike.
Где огонь, алё?
My blade. Into the wind.
Whoa, something's up with the blade.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting,
But what would that do to Aminum?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans. He's... The wind knows me.
Ау. Подзатыльник-то зачем давать?
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire...
Yes. And it looks like
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look...
perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun.
Для профилактики, понял.
Maybe you did truly it barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then, but regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize. The only one who truly understood you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can...
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same. It's my lucky day. The wind knows me. Into the wind. To the ferry. Time to go. The wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, no one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps...
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what...
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from its skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is, though you tried to cooperate with me, I resisted it. I feel a great sense of the moment you have known this.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly deny him? I said to him, do not worry. From here on, I
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. When I touched a bladesmith, a newly forged blade lay by.
Wow.
Indeed. He spent the rest. He felt it, so he instructed all he wanted.
So, but after...
Right. This blade... Yes. Time would not wait. He seems to have calmed...
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would... But darkness, not only did I...
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. So...
Hey!
It has to be done in my physical...
His attitude... What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. Alas, nor have I... My fights were to... You are...
Oh?
I will release... You must have...
Understood.
I see. I utterly despise him and his action. If a duel can help, I do not wish...
There's no need...
Thanks for your help.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Ну, удачи тебе. А я боссов вообще даже мировых давным-давно не бил. Я уже забыл, каково это, если честно. Бить боссов.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishin,
Successor of Amenoma art.
honored to cross blades.
It is my...
Я не знаю.
Into the wind. The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
thank you for the experience.
Понял.
Although his sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to
I must apologize to you for all that has
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but I beseech you, please.
Yes, I too trust Mr. Kaedehara.
Thank you, successor of Amin.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Aminoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure.
Тикс.
It's Yuya!
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was...
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that control... Considering their forging philosophy, but I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bonton Sango detective agent...
Really? Is he
Yes. Badly wounded, and now that Yuya is back, it seems...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade...
Yes. He said he wants to take control of...
What? No way!
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything
Дурмаму,
nefarious.
я пришел договориться.
I've decided...
Дурмаму. Мне кажется, это
Guess there's nothing we can say
то
to change your
самое
mind, huh?
оно, когда... Если бы я сейчас пошел на того же кита, нового босса, либо еще на кого. Просто у меня бы персы мухли как дохли как мухи. А не мухи как дохли.
Thank you. Okay. I am ready. Let us...
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean...
Yes, the cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
Классный меч. А мне дадут такой?
So, that's why he said his consciousness...
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he'd disapprove only in
Seems like...
the same fervent ambition that speaking for myself. I'd rather see him. I understand. Hearing his wish, your quest to face the gods. After everything, I will continue to support you from this point on.
Wait, shouldn't we also go up there?
Oh, you're right. And it's also
Ну я-то там зачем, чтобы кому-то что-то рассказывать? Ё-моё, где-то. О, сундук.
Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding.
Еще выше.
What's my first step in becoming?
Надо было просто тэпаться. Ой, не та кнопка.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. The Tenryou Commission.
Wow, you
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will and so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya.
You misunderstand. That was most certain.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this off. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the shogunate's assistance.
Great. Thank you for your generous.
Where will you travel to now?
I'll probably. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last
О,
conversation
мне
with
дали меч.
Nikita. I
Класс.
was ready to ask her a million more questions, but didn't want to seem too pushy.
Так. Там что-то с Нахидой слышал я. Что за прелюдия, ты кто? Пролог сольного танцора. По-моему, это Фонтейн, понял? Кто-нибудь зачистите мне карту на 100%, пожалуйста. Мечтаю об этом.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? That's a
Yeah, I want to write.
Yes, you came.
Did one of them just mention Tatarasuna? But is it just Paimon, or is it kind of unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Great! Let's go find out what the...
Че? Че, мне к ним? Да, мне к ним.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and you. Ugh. If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler.
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was... This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, so what? For the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted...
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about it.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatara
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves.
Let me give you some, but in the end, apart from the
That's right.
So first this strange person goes missing.
Yes, my thoughts...
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals, even back then,
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ish...
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So, basically, this something then seems...
Kinda hard?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or
get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces...
No! Paimon just meant... how creepy. The way you described it...
I agree. It does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are...
Так... Не хочу читать, поэтому просто закрою.
Oh, and please read my Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I...
Wait! You're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could... Besides, if they're really...
good point.
Беннет есть Беннет.
Alright, thank you.
Только он у меня не вкачан. По-моему, у меня 90-й, но артов на нем, по-моему, нету. Сейчас гляну.
Hey, so that thing with... Okay, then after all, we could... If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as...
Oh!
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... The Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Так, что там? Персонажи. У меня, по-моему, из артефактов норм только... Ну, боль-моль, ладно. Это Хутау. Кстати, я не знаю, что у нее там характеристики. Как посмотреть. Вот. Немножко Рейден. Елань я даже не знаю, что обычно ей качали, честно. Ну, дед есть дед. Самому интересно. Понял. Казах немножко, по-моему. Я даже не знаю, на что я его качал. Точно не на мастерство. Ой. вентилятор я не помню тоже. По-моему, у меня не вкачан, артефактов нету. Но есть, но, по-моему, это дрянь какая-то. Ну... Защита, восстановление, крит. Сила атаки 18, понял. Перо. Ну, такое се. Кёка, по-моему, тоже тут жопа какая-то вообще. Итер я вообще молчу. Дилюк, по-моему, немножко вкачан есть. Да. Во. Беннета шмотки есть? А какие? Восстановление, мастерство. Ух ты, защита. Ого-го. Понял. Одна атака от этого Тартальи. Ну, перо неплохое. Защита. Ужасные часы. Ну, такой себе кубок. Голова вообще, кстати, до конца не вкачанная. Крыть мастерство, ну, в принципе... Моно без кубка, я даже не знаю, что ей надо. Давно не играл на ней. Вот, по-моему, у меня немножко... Но тоже, по-моему, арта вообще не от него. Всякая жопа стоит. Тут я вообще не помню, что делал Лой. Тоже я не помню. Это, по-моему, я... А, да, боль-моль вкачана она. Кстати, какое-то созвездие С1. Пойма. Тут не вкачана. Барбара, по-моему, вкачана. Бейдоу. Что-то я, по-моему, забирала у нее. Чем мне не хватает в пачке казаха или сахарозу? Думаю, больше сахарозу. Ну, тут, честно, как-то плюс-минус они. У меня, по-моему, до ранга 40-го, я помню, я чисто задротил, потому что у меня не было аниме-персонажа ни одного. Потом, по-моему, как раз-таки казах выходил. Я его выбил. Я сначала выбил Сахарозу, потом казаха. Я думаю, нахрена мне... Потом просто начали падать все подряд. Я хотел и Сахарозу, и вентилятора, и этого казаха. А казах выпал, мне кроме казаха больше никто больше не нужен. Ну, ладно. Странника я потом с ним поиграюсь. Надо его сначала вкачать. С Линетом надо тоже поиграться. Фурина выбил и вообще не знаю, что ей качать, что у нее скиллы делают. Вообще без понятия. Надо с артефактами что-то делать. Вообще их нету. Гидросаппорт?
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in Did he escape or... Ah! And...
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? questions. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in— A deal?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was—
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I
well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask what? Paimon's worried about you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Да, кстати, я слышу, что у нее типа 2 режима. Понял?
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plans— Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my—
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection.
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends. So
Yeah, obvious! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do—
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nihida, are you serious about this? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, yes. As I told you once before. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. You may remember me mentioning that it's possible that he was granted the amount of information, so I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for— Exactly! Or what if— I understand. But sometimes how things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But if this deal with the Ballad hits my pleasure, really— I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise— Even though he'll— Of course, I'll be there to help. Great. Prepare yourself. Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides. but it is essential that you remain calm after Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do...
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like...
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure. Is this a small sap? Ugh! Darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
Давай, ага. Спасибо, что зашел на стрим.
Wow. So this is the end. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go...
Hey, so... Say we... What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to...
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it.
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must... The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do. Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join. Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads? That's part of it. Plus, we're all... Paimon's never tried this before. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me. Perhaps today will be the day that he true. Betrayal turned
Здорово.
the ballot. Turns out everyone
И
has
тебе не
a
хворать.
history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon. Speaking of puppets, if
Если
you
что
know
хочешь, можешь зайти на стрим.
the Kabuki Mono and Salt Really?
Я уже зашел.
А, ты уже там. Понял.
Oh, how interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone. So the Gesse got it right? Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved. Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So,
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh?
This light. It looks similar to those saplings.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may—
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has—
Is that so?
It's...
Whoa!
Я уже
I have been
устал
in Tatara
кликать.
Suna for some time now. Under your lead, as I understand, the forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their—
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame, you allowed Akame to take all the credit for him. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable.
So you say, Escher.
My good sir.
Так, а все же, что ты
What do you mean?
скипаешь-то, не читаешь?
I tried to
Нет,
resist
я почему
thinking
не
it was
читаю?
all connected.
Я некоторые бывает, да,
I didn't want
скипаю,
to
когда
speculate.
это.
I didn't
Но
want
в
to
основном я
believe that
читаю
things
сейчас.
could turn out this way.
Ну ладно, живи.
What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke, mounting production, and recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the golden feather to Narukami Island to seek it. But that doesn't faze you, does it?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Что еще раз?
Я правильно спрашивал, может ли она сюда присоединяться.
Да, это же не закрытый канал, не?
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events.
А, давай тогда просто напишем.
Нет, я ей выдавал.
After all, Nagamasa is the
You're well informed on the subtleties of his
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to—
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for.
Проверено.
Я знаю.
I thought I'd disguise myself exceptionally well.
Минимальная задержка.
At
5
least
секунд.
it's a
Плюс-минус.
long journey. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But...
It's no trouble at all. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my truth.
The Fatu...
Just to create a minor in...
That's it.
Look how even the righteous soul... My device functions it is easier. Make no mistake.
If you give him my heart, he has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little... Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your pup, Mr. Niwa? All Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner... I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade.
Это твоя первая с ним встреча?
Так нет, это... Я уже там со сказителем сейчас разбираюсь. Ну, точнее, этот. Сюжетку я прошел уже, основную.
Понял.
Dottore. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from his perspective? When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit...
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the... You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Как тебе сюжетка Сумер?
Нормально.
Give him some space.
Фонтейне получше будет.
He looks
Мне
really
зашло.
mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anything
Я еще до Фонтейна, знаешь. Я, конечно, был хоть сейчас ее начать, но...
We need to give him some time to
Тебе,
process
по сути,
his
осталось пройти вот это и Кариберта. Ну, этого Дайнслейва.
А, я уже прошел Кариберта сегодня.
Опа. И как тебе?
Кайф. Но я не увидел лица. Че там за маска или черно?
А там не в этом суть была, а то, что ты смотрел от лица своего двойника.
Вообще-то не двойника, а близнеца, да.
Ну, ты понял.
Это да.
Заленим тебя в таком случае.
Да-да.
Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to... It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor.
А про сошедших ты еще не знаешь, да?
Кого? Че еще?
Про сошедших. Сошедшие.
Типа 4 сошедших, включая меня. Типа первое это этот.
Ты четвертый.
Ну я четвертый, да.
Первый это Фанит или как вот он?
Ну, которая вот в начале игры нас разделила.
Что? Нет.
Нет?
Что?
У Небесный
Нет.
порядок сказали же.
Небесный порядок это не сошедшие, по-моему.
Там было написано, что Небесный порядок. Типа, либо типа
Нет,
такого.
может там кто-то есть в Небесном порядке из сошедших, но первый сошедший это был Фанит, который силу у драконов забрал.
Нет, пока ни о чем, если честно, не говорит.
Ну, короче, мы четвертый, вот в Сумеру, в Фонтейне говорят про третьего и что такое сердце Бога и откуда оно взялось. Ну, ответы тебя поразят, что это такое.
Кайф.
Офигеешь.
Надеюсь.
Ну, скорее ты и офигеешь, и поймешь, зачем царице нужны все сердца Бога.
Ну, у меня давно теория есть, я не знаю. Типа то, что она просто потеряла свою божественность и собирает этот.
Нет.
Либо пытается, типа, возвести новый порядок, типа, стать еще сильнее, типа такого.
Нет.
Нет, нет?
Нет, ну свергнуть то, что да, это понятно. Но что такое эти сердца Бога?
Ключи.
Скажем так, собрав все, она кого-то может возродить.
Нани? Это что за
кажется...
святой Грааль или этот?
Я тебе, конечно, могу сказать кого, но...
Давай.
Это останки третьего сошедшего. Все сердца Бога, третий сошедший.
Ух ты. А что мне делать? Типа с ним поболтать?
Тебе подойти к сказителю.
О! Спустя некоторое время.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond... Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was...
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she... Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this.
О, они про отца Кею говорят сейчас, да?
Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, so tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for help. So long. I suggest you get yourself—
Where are you going? Hey! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at—
Hey! Balladeer! Don't do anything!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time—
Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Oh no, he's really gone. Oh, can you hear me? Nahida! Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out. I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had? Where the heck did he go? Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, we're running out of time. Follow my lead and... This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't an emergency. How bad is it? Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances. Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake... He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible. Right. You can't just rewrite history. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon's so confused. Huh? Sorry, Paimon accidentally... But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head, there's no way he'll actually succeed. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But, so... Alright, Paimon's Andrean chili chicken! What was Paimon was, Is that a food too? What's wrong? Your eyes are like
Какие глаза всегда,
saucers.
когда он удивляется.
Was it something Paimon said?
Буквально от Рталя тот самый.
Да.
So, the balladeer. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this. We made it to Amanoma Smithy.
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches, the art of forging practiced by these most of the great swordsmith clans of old, have since fallen into. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, if my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he.
Oh yeah, we were. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then.
In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. Oh, he told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, there is no harm in telling you. But I'm up the Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. Mr. Niwa, and the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow in his heart. Powerless, alas. Finally, he made a drastic decision. In his fury, he murdered, but when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, that is why the Kaedehara.
Если что, можно вводить в настройках учетная запись промокод.
Was there anything else you
Спасибо, это везде так. Что на телефоне, что на компе, что на плойке.
А, да? Не, ну может плойки просто отличаются, может. Я поэтому.
Ты скинул?
Да, я в Discord скинул.
Халява пришла.
Сколько там пришло?
60. Хуизат. Кто это?
Что-то там.
Да, там чел какой-то хотел.
Бездна не пройдена. Бездна не пройдена.
У кого? У кого бездна не пройдена?
У тебя.
А, ну это да.
Она завтра обновляется.
Ну хочешь, возьми все в свои эти пальчики умелые.
Если успею, то возьму.
Hello, dears. Of course, traveler. What would you like to know? Oh, their book as for
So pretty.
Very much.
Вот это я читать не хочу, спасибо.
Там ничего такого, сейчас диалоги будут, типа, а вы знаете Исказителя? А кто это?
Да, я это уже понял.
Потому что он себя фул из мира стер вообще все свое существование. Как и себя. То есть, если ты сейчас и увидишь уже странника, то это будет не он.
Ну как?
Нет, это будет вообще не он. Нет, вообще ноль.
Ну, тело-то само это и будет его. Плюс-минус.
Ну, это понятно. Он просто стер самого себя. Это уже другая личность будет.
Да, это я понял, я знаю. Так, куда мне?
Ой, надо же этот выпить антибиотик.
Зачем тебе пить антибиотик, когда ты просто простудой, не?
Уже гайморит, а не простуда, к сожалению.
Ой. А как? Погоди. Ты же эту херню всю убирал, не?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in.
Раз оно опять.
Certainly do. If there's anything you
Все
want to
началось
know,
с
just
горла.
like the
Пошло в
fact. Not
нос
only that,
и
but I've
вот
met
так.
people in. Oh, I'm told that its history is one of the most.
Короче, вот третий день температура, поэтому как бы да.
Я так и не понял, операция помогла это или нет?
Ну, перегородку нам не склеила, да. Ой, исправила все. Кисты удалили. Сам гайморит-то никуда не денется. Только то, что я теперь только то, что болею реже. Намного.
Года еще не прошло, ты уже говоришь, что не болеешь.
Полгода прошло.
Ну, год-то еще не прошел.
Слушай, за полгода ни разу не заболеть, это уже, по-моему, для меня рекорд.
Разве?
Да.
А
я стабильно раз в 2-3 месяца болел.
А я стабильно только в начале учебы обычно болел.
Потому что осень кто-то без шапки ходит.
Вообще-то я в шапке хожу.
Значит, в куртке тонкой.
Она не тонкая, а нормальная.
Я ее в руки возьму, она, знаешь, как пепел чисто рассыпется.
Ты знаешь, как ниточку просто разорвал.
Да.
Indeed we have time. It's the same topic.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh?
I presume you'll want to read mine.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well,
what did you find out?
It's a long story.
It's a long story.
Wow. So
well.
Ugh. This new information.
Yes, okay.
And they're back at.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Мне нужно
Keep us in the loop of you.
Will do.
как-то узнать, где находится святыня. Как она называется, господи? Ключ, усыпальница, вот.
Ты, кстати, как будешь работать?
2 через 2.
А по учебе сможешь?
Договорюсь. В другие дни буду просто заносить и все.
Понял.
Чтоб ты понимал, сегодня я увидел препод по 3D технологии.
Да ладно.
Он все-таки существует, да.
Че, он еще живой?
Вроде ходит прямо, значит, да. Только почему он не появляется на парке?
Не знаю. Кстати, приходила этот? Проверяли вас или нет?
Никто ничего не зашел. Последние 2 пары должны были быть как раз таки у 3D. Кабинет, как обычно, закрыт, а его нет.
Чувак, как думаешь, завтра на парах с 5 до 7 кто-нибудь будет у меня на парах?
Нет. Они до 5, они максимум до 5 ходят.
Ну вот. Мне кажется, они максимум до обеда ходят.
Ну, или так. Вау, это святыщ. Святыня.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself, but how was he, as the traveler said? He very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it nevertheless. So, Yes, the traveler comes, so if there's anyone in the world Paimon's having I can only make inferences based...
Ох, ё.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the Balladeer, he couldn't keep the story makes sense. The Balladeer trapped that power then and it... Yeah, it does. It just feels so hopeless. Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming it. What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look. Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote? I authored this record myself. Huh? You? When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Hold on. Yes. Changing the infant Irminsul. That's incredible! And sending the traveler. This story is abstract, but if we connect up. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of once in a while. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes. The kitten too would
Официальная Вики Хлоя Лапа вышла.
furious at this happy resolution. The monster lit up. A gray fox stood up. The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered. The monster gave a heart of water to the kitten.
Персонажей подарить ему правильный
The
подарок.
foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames,
Понятно, надо дать
and
правильный
die for your
подарок.
foxkin. The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived.
Я должен был это понять.
It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after.
Ой, Дилюк.
Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
Какая интересная сказка.
We solved it! I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified this memory.
что Нахида рассказывала сказку.
Да, прикольно.
Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it.
Я уже
That's why they backed up his memory for
так
later
просидел
use.
место, где я сейчас сижу, у меня уже жопа болит.
I buried it deep in
Оно настолько твердым стало. Диван твердый стал.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for info before he vanished. We still don't know how
Впервые
the
такое.
change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui. It sounds like Paimon. This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. So the answer is not everything. When you give someone to others looking on, this may seem like a never forget that even when, and that is what you have been.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick a
Good idea.
You got it. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits.
Мне предложили перекусить. Что-то мне кажется, я сейчас встречу там этого нового сказителя. А именно Скамчу.
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 Почему Скамчу?
Почему нет?
Ты назовешь его Скамчу?
Да. Прикольно же, Скамчу.
Выражаю крайнее недовольство.
Или Скамча. Чё бы нет.
Уж лучше вертолет или муха.
А муха тоже вертолет.
Бонабия на Бугатти.
Но без коробки передач.
Я же он есть, да?
Да.
Везет.
У тебя он тоже нет?
Да. Но не на твинке. Так, мне нужна интера.
Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat.
Уже сундуков меня еще ждет. Помоги.
What is it? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up?
Alright.
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Я пока разлютился. Чё?
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my... Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you? Or is the big city...
I wasn't paying close enough attention. So I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here. I don't want to take it...
No, please.
You're welcome.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stick.
Гемы. Сюда.
Я услышал гемы? А мне?
Да. Ну, веб-ивент проходи.
Блин. Я еще этот ивент не пришел.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash.
Проходи.
Huh? You two over there.
Ну, конечно, это будет вообще
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my...
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more of them.
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm.
That's...
Let me take these back.
Then let's return...
И что там? Пока ты иди тропу.
Take it easy.
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really went and picked some more.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world. Like, imagine you were me for a second. But anyway, taking you in...
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years.
Thank you. All right, done.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize for the
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
Может, Алина сидит и чё молчит?
Я не знаю, как она так тихо заходит.
You say that you're trekking...
Well, it seems that these two claim that they know me.
I wouldn't call it the past, but
Я
rather...
тут уже минут 30 сижу.
I don't like to rely on using terms like this often.
Просто
but
так,
in
жду,
your
пока меня
case,
заметят.
It seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Like a past life or
Yes. Something far more distant than the
Так
past.
неинтересно.
Okay, I have to ask.
Действительно. Я бегаю с Соло изучать.
Oh, you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks, if it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will, but I'll be able to handle it.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you drifted from place to place. Never... Actions rooted in persistence, sometimes...
I gave everything I had. But it...
In terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of...
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fan.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on. He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust...
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memory.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience...
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good boy.
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like Ina's...
Right now, you're in a dream. I create these memories.
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion.
Is that because
you...
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill... No, there's... There's someone passed out on... You're awake. What happened? How'd... Not a scratch. And these fine clothes.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy,
and the rest is history.
In the original version...
Let me get you out of here. Our people...
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the second in command at Tatarasuna, responded by Katsuragi.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
What are we doing back here? Whoa, this is where you were born? It's
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but...
Okay, I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and he kept coughing.
But you can't. You
Yup, we're family now.
This child didn't have... After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tatarasuna, the Balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The Balladeer came home one day.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family!
You're no different from Niwa and all... The voices have gone.
Let's keep going.
Take it easy.
Тут были ловушки.
You do realize you're
В памяти
blocking my
скоромучишь,
path.
что ты там разбираешься.
I come not
А?
to obstruct you.
По памяти с коробочки бегаешь?
Да.
What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an
Самое
iron
запутанное,
will.
что есть.
Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
The long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Gotcha.
Your back into it, solidify. We've only just begun.
Inazuma shines eternal.
My work, I miscalculated.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the Delusion Factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once...
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over the...
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimental.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible. And don't let your emotions...
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never failed to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still... Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest. By then, see you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire. Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wander.
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take...
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful...
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further...
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they'd think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart...
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not...
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Punk.
Let's move on.
Что за эти сундуки дают книжки опыта. Но у кого-то их нету.
У кого?
Даже не знаю.
У тебя, что ли?
You're a god.
Это у меня по 1000 этих книг. У меня этих книг по 1000.
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes.
Ну, зато они хотя бы фармятся, и даже в большом количестве меня это радует.
Are there any differences between...
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations?
Давай, попробуй.
If not,
Ты давай, это не мой аккаунт, говори, ну спрашивай.
I've seen enough of my past.
Ну чего, сейчас Байджу такой.
I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear, no matter the consequences. I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. With each, as a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same...
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, but then I met you. And I finally realized that... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something, so I beg you.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return...
Я за Фурину призвал этих штук, погрузился в воду, и они туда тэпнулись и теперь убивают врагов.
Nice.
Я не знал, что так можно.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Крапти-крап.
Balladeer?
сюда не сдвигается.
This is trying my patience.
Insignificant past.
The wind rises. At my command, you shall fall. That's far enough. Behold, feeble human. Search for it. You dare to gaze upon me? My endless cycle begins upon the gale.
Какой я валенок, ужасно.
В
плане я просто получаю урон. Вообще забыл, как додж, что вообще делать.
О, в чем проблема, просто додж.
В натуре.
Insignificant past.
The wind rises. You're dead.
Осталось 6 печатей, и будет 40-й уровень этого фонтана.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing...
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has...
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really...
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using it. I'm not planning on returning.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile.
But that doesn't mean your own past has...
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had. You weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, what you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little and...
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing... Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul.
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over to...
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my... But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I...
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again... Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're in... Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live...
I'm glad you're able to think of it in Traveler. In the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how, well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be... I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever to be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they?
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without it. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the long...
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname.
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything?
Так, а теперь... Скамча, скам или скамчу?
Ой, ужас, не сделал.
Ну...
Подумай о чувствах Али. На что?
Ладно. Скамру.
Господи.
Странный скам.
Аля.
А как вы его назвали?
Ой, ё-моё. Хороший вопрос. Ну, Алина назвала просто Скара. Я не помню на А как-то там.
Скамри.
Господи, делай, что хочешь. Я увольняюсь. Пусть тоже что-нибудь придумает. Помнит один раз. Творитель снов за что?
Как насчет Янус?
Ой,
Янус — это двуликий бог с какого-то языка.
Тебе сразу рифму сказать?
Я знаю. Есть еще имя Ками, просто бог-божество.
Говорят, делай, что хочешь. Я тут бессильный.
Кондзин, странствующее божество.
Хоть, я не знаю, хоть как, хоть...
Астарот, Аганг.
Вот, Аганг подходит.
Почему?
Ну, тоже ветер.
Ну, чувак, а шумерские боги, там, не знаю... Амон, бог воздуха и пространства. Сусана,
мне
японский бог бури.
Шейбанидов хватает.
Сусана,
всяких.
слышь, Сусана.
Делай, что хочешь.
Чувак, это японский бог бурь, как раз Сусана, вот он. Ну, я бы хотел что-то такое... Фудзин... Что еще есть? Индуистский бог ветра, Вайю.
Тоже
Рудра,
нормально.
Вайра, бог ветра и пламени Южной Америки. Это не это. Нот олицетворение ночи в гармонической мифологии.
Давай что-то японское, он же японец. Вот японское что-то давай в таком случае.
Вот теперь я сейчас буду искать. Где-то я здесь видел.
Так Сусана, это же японская,
да,
нет?
Сусана японская.
Ну вот и оставляй.
Подожди. Есть еще Лор-хан, потерянный бог переводится.
Ну, под него подходит. В принципе. Где-то в Арменцуле потерялся.
Вагус, бродящий странствующий.
Тебе опять сразу рифму сказать?
Радамон, бродяга бездомный.
Вот, кстати, я где-то слышал.
О, есть прям буквально этот... Ну, как переводится странник на другое это... Вандор. Просто переводится странник. Есть Рандир, скиталец на эльфийском. Чё, на эльфийском? У нас есть эльфы? Чего?
Нахида такая с ушами эльфами. Эльфийскими. Привет.
Так я не про это, ладно.
Да нет, самих эльфов нет.
Кумо с японского языка означает облако. Нека кот, но в принципе по сказке прикольно Нека. Духовный колокольчик. Син. Скара мучача.
Оставляй. Сейчас буду.
Ну, блин. Где-то там еще был бог какой-то. Конзин, странствующее божество. ОМОН.
Это я это уже видел.
Чувак, просто ОМОН.
Ну а что, тоже по воздуху ходит по факту? Ну как?
Ну, ОМОН?
А стоп, ОМОН не ходил, не, это с другим перепутал.
ОМОН — это бог воздуха и пространства. Но видишь, ОМОН — это еще в России есть такая организация.
Тоже ОМОН.
Ну а здесь ОМОН как идет. Сусана, японский бог бурь, и есть еще Фудзин, бог ветра и японской мифологии.
Господи, назови его уже как-нибудь, а.
Я думаю.
Тебе дадут его переназвать, тебе эту штучку
Я
дадут.
знаю, ну блин. Ну, я его, наверное, назову Кодзин, странствующее божество.
В народе бомж. Да, называй.
Погоди, был же это, бомж где-то был же.
Ты что я наделал?
Вот, Радамон, бродяга бездомный. Не, ну я его все равно назову, наверное, Кондзин.
Чтоб ты понимал, Тоха делает все задания по компасу, он сказал, типа, сиди, отдыхай, выздоравливай, я сам все сделаю. Там задание склеить несколько фигур, ну, типа, практическое.
Угу.
В парах вот это вот все. Склеить несколько фигур. Знаешь, что он мне присылает?
Что он присылает тебе?
Отдельно звезду, отдельно серп и отдельно молот. И скобочку такую смеющуюся.
Я понял.
Тебе смешно?
Oh, all right. If you say so.
Я не шучу.
What about a nickname? Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer. What?
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be a need.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. Huh?
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. No nonsense. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant.
Yeah, true. But even so, we can finally
thank you both.
Пожалуйста, я уже хочу закончить это. Я хочу просто посетить и позалипать в Ютубе. Пожалуйста.
И что захотел?
А я хочу.
I've got it. I can end my novel with some.
You
mean? Yeah, I heard the dark cloud. Then one night, all these expressions of life is.
Наверное.
Ну, именно пятница. Почему именно пятница?
Почему бы нет?
Approved.
Вернитесь к месту отдыха. Если я не хочу отдыхать, я хочу... Точнее, я хочу отдыхать, но... Я запутался. Да. Включи, пожалуйста, тот звук.
Ой.
Спасибо.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like, Paimon...
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind.
Это еще что за голос? Нани?
Это ведьма.
Какая еще ведьма?
Потом узнаешь в Сумере, ой, в Фонтейне, что это за ведьма.
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird,
Who are you?
history does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes.
Какой question?
The voice has disappeared.
Ну, не отвечает.
And who the heck was...
Может, уснула?
Ну, вряд ли она сюжет потом приходила.
Поэтому и уснула.
Да не.
По-моему, да.
Подожди, может, у нее там напряженное что-то. Подождем чуть-чуть. Ну, хотя она сегодня сильно устала, наверное, скорее всего, может, и уснула. Но если она в течение получаса не это, наверное, уснула.
Я закончил! Ура!
Поздравляю, забирай свою крутку и крути оружку.
Ладно.
Так нет, ты мог с квеста прям забрать.
В смысле с квеста?
Ну, за квесты же дают в книжке. F1 нажми. Ну, выйди с этого. F1. Там должно быть где-то гид, по-моему. А, не дают за это? Нет, скорее всего дают, просто ты не прошел вторую главу вот этого промежуточного тома. Ты там сразу несколько круток получишь, когда пройдешь.
В смысле вторую главу?
Ну, у тебя должно быть задание фото в промежуточном том, глава 2. Посмотри, где это. Что это? За задание. Джей, если что, задание открыть.
Нету.
Почему? Вон промежуточный том, глава 2, видишь? Неожиданное гостье называется. В самом верху.
Это? Ну то погоди, это...
Тебе, видимо, надо пролог сольного танцора выполнить, а потом промежуточный том, глава 2. Они конфликтуют.
Это же... этот...
Это разлом, но ты его не прошел. Это сюжет, как бы, если ты не знал.
Значит, буду
проходить. Вот его пройдешь, тебе там сразу круток 5-6 дадут за все остальные квесты.
Ну вот, если хочешь проходить бездну, то пожалуйста. Так, подожди. Я лучше сделаю Alt F4 вот так вот.